Okay.
Go
Our
ahead.
mission, our mission. Helping Parents Heal is a nonprofit organization dedicated to assisting bereaved parents. Through support and resources offered, we aspire to help individuals become shining light parents, meaning a shift from a state of emotional heaviness to one of hopefulness and greater peace of mind. Helping Parents Heal goes a step beyond other groups by allowing the open discussion of spiritual experiences and afterlife evidence in a non dogmatic way. Helping Parents Heal affiliate groups welcome everyone, regardless of religious or non religious background, and encourage open dialogue. Attendance at all Helping Parents Heal meetings is voluntary. All discussions that take place at affiliate led meetings are confidential. We hope that participants will learn from and share with each other. Zoom meetings run by leadership are not confidential. These meetings typically feature guest presenters and are posted on YouTube so that affiliate members worldwide can watch and benefit. Neither type of Helping Parents Heal meeting is designed to replace traditional therapy or spiritual counseling. Helping Parents Heal offers a wide variety of speakers, allowing parents to learn about many possible ways to heal. This includes presenters covering progressive topics such as afterlife evidence and connecting with our children who have passed. The views expressed by our guest speakers may or may not reflect the opinions of Helping Parents Heal leaders and members, so we ask that you take from their presentations whatever may benefit you personally. Welcome, everyone. We're so glad you could join us this evening, and thank you, Vincent, for being here this evening.
Yes, thank you, Vincent. And before you get started, I'm going to quickly read your short bio to let people know a little bit about you. Known as the visionary of our times, Vincent is an internationally acclaimed psychic therapist, medium, spiritual master, and author. He has transformed thousands of people's lives worldwide through his dynamic and inspiring radio and television interviews, podcasts, keynote presentations, workshops, classes, and private sessions. His teachings blend new and deep thought-provoking insights with science and ancient wisdom that universally resonates within the soul's knowing. As a spiritual leader and visionary, Vincent raises consciousness to higher levels as he imparts what others have yet to explore and demonstrate. Diving deep into the human psyche, he enables a quantum leap of understanding to uncover and resolve maladaptive beliefs shielded below the conscious mind that are sabotaging best laid dreams and desires. His highly evolved skills, healing presence, and compassionate intent to guide people to live their best lives have resulted in him being one of the most sought after media guests, experts, and keynote speakers globally. And now Vincent offers his 40 years of spiritual, metaphysical, and psychological insights in his first book, The Secret That's Holding You Back by G&D Media. Everyone who experiences Vincent goes home enlightened, energized, and empowered, possessing the key to creating the life of their dreams. This is the Genna effect. And you can learn more about Vincent Genna by going to www.vincentgenna.com. And without further ado, please join me in welcoming this very handsome Vincent Genna. Welcome, Vincent.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm glad I still have that filter on that makes me look good. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Elizabeth, for having me back, and Irene and everybody who is coming and attending tonight. And it's so spectacular because some of you have even taken my mediumship class so that you can make connections yourselves with your children. And that was wonderful and spectacular. And boy, oh boy, if that's the short version of my bio, you've got to get me sleeping medicine to keep me awake for the longer version. Good Lord, who wrote that? I got to go talk to them again. I'm telling you. But in any case, so great to see you all here today. And it's this week, just before Thanksgiving. We got Thanksgiving on Thursday. And it's so interesting at this time of year. Just to give you a piece of my background that wasn't stated in the bio, is I used to be a hospice social worker because I got my psychotherapy degree when I became a psychic, because as long as I was getting deep into the dark places of the human mind, I wanted to make sure I knew what I was doing in there and that I wasn't harming anybody, and only being able to help and understand the mind will benefit both me and the work I do and my clients. And so one of the jobs that I had was as a social worker for hospice. And so I had about 500 patients that I helped to transition to the other side. And then, of course, worked with their loved ones, the caregivers, who were mostly the children of these adults. And they were all different ages, by the way, and all different caregivers, parents as well, with their children that were passing. And so I have the experience of knowing the time of year. And it's really interesting. Research has been done that shows that there are two of the heaviest times of year that souls choose or tend to leave the earth plane. And that time, the highest time, is the Christmas season. From Thanksgiving to Christmas, that is the number one time period that people of all ages now tend to pass. The second is on their birthday, or right around their birthday, which is so interesting because that is a psychological perspective. There doesn't seem to be an answer or reasoning why, if you just take it based on body and mind. But because we are body, mind, spirit, we got to go deeper than that, which is what I did. And so why those time periods? And of course, then when the year goes on, right, then we tend to feel our grief again at different times throughout the year, usually the anniversaries, the anniversary of the birthday, and also the day of passing, that kind of thing. And then the holidays, when we're supposed to be joyous and happy, and it's all about family, right? That's what Thanksgiving is. You get your family together. And then, of course, any of the holidays after that that you celebrate, whether it be Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Christmas time, all of that, again, it's about the family coming together, right? And they tend to be reminders to some people, to most, that loved one is not there with them. But we know otherwise, right? We know that those loved ones are all around. So tonight I wanted to talk about celebrating the holidays and how to celebrate the holidays and why it's important to celebrate these holidays more so now than ever before. So again, going back and looking at these time periods that the souls tend to leave and go back into that dimension, why now? Well, some of the theory was that, well, you have a lot of depression going on at this time period also, but that's not all the people that transition are those who are depressed. There are others from illnesses, from all different reasons as to why they transition, accidents, anything like that. So why the holidays? I mean, if you really think about it, as a soul, I'm sitting there and I'm like, when would I want to leave? Well, certainly I don't want to, if it was my choice, I don't want to ruin anybody's fun at a holiday, you know, thinking, oh, dad's gone, oh, my husband's gone, you know, and it's Christmas time, and all of that, because that grief is natural and that's going to well up again. It's going to well up those emotions of that person not physically being there, right? But that's not the reason why we go. We don't tend to leave, souls don't leave intentionally to ruin a holiday. A matter of fact, if you think about the energy throughout an entire year, when is the highest global energy, positive energy, experienced on this planet at any time of the year? It tends to be right now, which is really interesting. So first we have a United States Thanksgiving, but it's become so big that it actually winds up becoming global in so many different ways, because there's always reasons why we should take time to be thankful, right? And so, yes, over in Europe, they may say, oh, yeah, yeah, they're over there being thankful that, yeah, I got to remember that too. I'm thankful also. So there's always reason to be thankful. But the month of December now, right after Thanksgiving, all over the world, there is some kind of celebration of light. And in actuality, Christmas is a celebration of light. What did it start out with? The star above. It was always about light, the light that's above that guided everybody to where Jesus's birth was. Hanukkah, what is it a celebration of? The light, the oil that lasted in the temple long enough for the Hebrews to rebuild the temple, the light. In Kwanzaa, the log, again, it's the candles of light that we have. And we can go on and on and on throughout all different countries. It's a celebration of something to do with light and around the light. And of course, when we come back to Christmas, not only was the light above Jesus, but Jesus was the light of the world too, right? That was the message that he brought in, a new light, a new understanding of what's within us. So this is all a high vibrational time period. Very high vibrational time period. And what do we pass around? What do we do all the songs about? What's all the hustle and bustle about? Right? Goodwill, peace on earth. Now, yes, oh boy, I know. Right now, boy, we don't have any of that. We're trying real hard. Now we should celebrate more than ever, because we need to get that positive energy up there again, right? Because of all the stuff that goes on. But that's not a reason not to celebrate it. We always want to lift up the energy, right? So it's not just a matter of lifting up the energy so that we can have a good time. But if you think about it, yes, it's wonderful to be able to share that. And not everybody, I know a lot of people say, well, Vince, there's a lot of people who don't have anything to celebrate, that they don't have a home, they don't have family anymore. And I always tell people that as long as we're spirits, we're body, mind, and spirits here on this planet, and we're here to experience ourselves, and we're here to grow, and we're here to evolve. So that means if you have breath, and you have a thinking mind, you have choices, you have options, you still have existence, your soul is keeping you here. And it's up to us to be able to help each other. It's up to each individual to make choices, to be able to help their lives in some way. And there's always something around to be able to help with that. And the soul is always growing one way or the other through the experience. But most of the time, for majority of people in the world, there is a reason to keep that energy up. And it helps to keep it up even for those that don't have much. Because now with goodwill going around, all the homeless, all those people, they get blankets given to them, they get some clothes, they get food. You got all of this wonderful volunteering that's going on. There's so much goodwill that is going on at this time of the year. More people volunteer statistically, that has been shown through this time of year, Thanksgiving, Christmas holidays, all of this time period. You've got people thinking more, they give more money out, they give more to charities, right? So it's you go and get a toy or a card off of a Christmas tree to help a child or to help a family. There's Toys for Tots. There's tremendous amounts of organizations at this time of year, which is what raises that vibration. And it's sad that it's only one time a year, right? Don't we always say Christmas should be every day, And if we treated it that way, if we treated every day like we do during this entire time period, there would be more peace on earth, because you'd be spreading around all this positive energy. But in the meantime, we want to take advantage of this positive energy. So we got all this positive energy that's going on over here. But we've got a bunch of parents that have experienced a loss in a physicalness of their child, right? And so, and any loss of a loved one that people experience at this time. And it doesn't seem to go hand in hand with that high vibrational frequency, right? That's going on. The grief tends to come around, and it goes in waves. And this is one of those wave periods that it can come out from for anybody. But think about it. See, you all here and what Elizabeth has created, and Irene and all the others that created Helping Parents Heal, realize that there's more than what we are just seeing. There's more than just this body, right? We're spiritual beings having a physical experience. We're energies having a physical experience. So energy. And when we were created as these energies, we were created in its image, the God source, the power source, whichever way you want to think about it, whatever you want to call it. We were created in that image, that power. That's what we're actually here to discover. So we already start out as a high vibration. And we were told that our energy is so powerful, is so strong, that we have dominion over anything physical on this planet, including our bodies. So our vibration as souls is high. Okay. So now we have all of these souls that are in the heavenly dimension, and it's very high energy over there. Okay. And so over here now, if we can help to keep raising that energy during the holiday season even higher and tap into all the energy that everybody else is creating, because it's all connected. We're all part of the same energy force, which is really interesting, right? Like, just like we are breathing the same oxygen that's all over the world. Now, it may be scented differently from different cultures and different countries, but it is the same oxygen field that goes around the entire planet. So if we look at it that way, then you've got to understand it's the same energy force that's going around this planet. It also explains, if you look at some of the things that are going on today, that anything that's negative that goes around this planet is going to affect the planet and everybody else on the planet as well. So the positive energy is going to be even stronger. And so when you raise this positive energy here, what are you doing? You are balancing it out and making it level with the heavenly energy over here. And guess what that does? That makes it so much easier for those in that side, in that dimension, to meld and come back and communicate with us in this dimension. It's when our energy level is low that they have a difficult time. So many of my clients will tell me, oh, I see my daughter, I see my son sometimes, but I don't see him other times. I don't understand. Why can I make it more consistent? And all of those that I work with that I was trying to teach, I would be working with them. Well, I want you to be able to see, make it simplified, how we get to communicate with the other side to start with. How do we communicate with our own soul and our higher essence, right? And our higher selves and the God force or the angels. How do we get to communicate with them? Well, it's actually been shown scientifically now that the heart has 40,000 cells that are exactly the same cells of the human brain in the thinking portion of the brain. So they're now theorizing that, wait a minute, if those are thinking cells here, then those got to be thinking cells there. They're believing that the heart has its own mind. As a matter of fact, that's what heart math is all about, that new organization that's been doing so much work to try to understand what is going on in the heart. But here's really what's interesting, coming from the spiritual perspective and the metaphysical perspective, I know what that is. That's the soul's mind. The soul's mind is right there by your heart. And that's what's connecting with everything, okay? So now I want you to envision a channel or a hallway or a tunnel, whatever you want to call it, or picture it in your mind, that's in that heart space, And that channel allows the communication between your soul's mind and your conscious mind, your soul's mind and your conscious mind. Now, when deceased loved ones come to us from the spirit realm on the other side of the veil, they're actually speaking to your soul, because that's where you're connected to them. And in order to hear them, it has to travel from your soul's mind to your conscious mind through that channel. Okay? Now, here's a caveat about that channel. It opens and it closes. With everything positive that we feel, with all the love, with all the joy, with all happiness, anything that makes us feel good, guess what? That channel opens. And it makes it easier for the information to then come through the channel. Intuition, guidance, all of that, messages from source, messages from spirit and the angels, the deceased loved ones. Anybody can make their way through in a positive way as long as that channel's open. But anything that's negative or makes us feel bad closes the channel down, and it makes it really difficult to get the message through. Okay? So this is why I wanted to talk about celebrating tonight and this time of the year. You have the greatest opportunity to open up your channels at this time of the year, right? And you open them up with joy, and you open them up with love, and you open them up with memories, positive memories, joyful memories. And that also gives you reasons to be thankful. I just did a lecture and I did a television episode over here locally about what's thankfulness anyway. I asked people to define thankfulness. And they said, well, thankfulness means that you're grateful for things that happen in your life. And I said, oh, okay, good. So what does grateful mean? Well, grateful means that you appreciate the good things that happen in your life. And what does appreciate mean? Well, appreciate means that you're thankful for those wonderful things. And the funny thing is, it's even in the dictionary, they don't even have the definition of one word is actually the definition of the other word. So there is no true definition as to what thankfulness is. And so we actually have forgotten what thankfulness is. And even though we celebrate it once a year here in the United States or anywhere where they celebrate any kind of thankfulness or gratitude, whether it be at a service on a Sunday, in a temple or in a church, it doesn't matter. They say the word a lot. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you for holding the door open for me. Oh, thank you for the glass of water. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I appreciate it. I was thirsty. And the word becomes so unmeaningful. It loses its strength. It gets diluted when you say it all the time. Just like the word love. We love everything. We love ice cream as much as we love our kids, right? No, we have to love our kids more than we love ice cream, but we use love the same way all the time. So what is thankfulness actually? And this is what I was teaching everybody. It's about recognizing the joys you have received in your life. And why do we say thank you to somebody? Because we want them to experience the joy that they brought us for what they did. So if they, oh, thank you for this wonderful meal that you made, your friends invite you over for dinner, right? You want them to feel good about them making you feel good. And that's why we express thankfulness. But it makes us acknowledge the joys. This Thanksgiving, you do have joys to be thankful for. You have memories. You have whatever around you now. You have the fact that there is a continuation of life, right? And so the more you can find yourself to be thankful and expressing joy, you're opening up the channel. And guess who's going to be coming in? And they want so desperately, constantly, to be around us. My goodness, you know what? If you look at what's going on in the world today, the veil is so thin right now because all of those spirits, all of those angels, all of our loved ones that have gone to that realm, they're right next to us. They are whispering in our ears. And because of all the stuff that's going on, we can get so caught up in all of that that we don't hear. Some do hear. Some do get the feeling. Many of you probably will now have been experiencing your loved ones, your children, and them talking to you. I know so many of my clients feel better now. They even said they have a better relationship now because they talk to their kid every single day, all day long. And before, it was weeks before they spoke to their kid. I had no idea what the kid was doing. And so there's so many ways to be able to open up those doors, but now is the time. Take advantage of the celebrating. And man, oh man, any of the holidays, if you're celebrating Christmas, even Hanukkah or Kwanzaa, whatever it is, man, they love that too. You know, I've got, a matter of fact, and I don't know who this is, it may be somebody for you out there, but I have a young man who is coming in and he's been with me all night long. And all he keeps talking about is, I want my train set up. I want my train set out there again. The trains, Lionel trains, he's showing me my Lionel trains that I had a long time ago. And so they were so important to him. He loved them when he was a little kid, and he wants that memory to come back. He doesn't want tears if you do put them up. He wants joy because he's right there next to the trains, playing with the trains. And I don't know if there's somebody here whose son, a son, who just absolutely loved his Lionel trains when he was a young person. If there's anybody here, just raise your hand and let me know, because I'd love to know who this gentleman is. But all he keeps talking about is, and Elizabeth, you look for the hands too. I can't see everyone all at once. How important that they want this celebration. They want Christmas to keep going. They want you to enjoy the holiday. And it seems like it's so difficult and it's so hard. How can I? You're not physically here. But that's okay because we are spiritually here. And what's the purpose of the holiday? To celebrate. I mean, the soul of Jesus isn't there every single moment and is not physically present, but the spirit of Jesus and the spirit of the holiday is there. The whole reason is to remember who we are and what's inside of us and what we're capable of and our magnificence and our divinity. And so when you're remembering all of that, you have to remember the fact that you're still connected to the soul, to your children, right? And that they chose you to be their parents, or they chose you to be able to progress whatever the soul needed to do or wanted to do or got. It doesn't matter how they got to the other side. What matters is that they're still alive and that there is no death. That's an illusion that we feel because we need to see solid in order to believe that we're living. Do you know how much of this war and nonsense would stop if everybody realized that there is no death? You know, that you're actually sending people to the heavenly side, you know, so they're not dealing with all of this, you know, and that's why they want to help us so much, because we are the ones still here dealing with all of this stuff, right? So you've got to constantly remember that these holidays we created. Hallmark didn't. I do a lecture on life is a Hallmark moment, which is really fun. And we think that, you know, oh, sure, all of these businesses commercialize everything. Well, you know what? What if it was all a message from source, from spirit, trying to make us remember the reasons to celebrate in life? As a matter of fact, every single celebration we have in the world is an aspect of ourselves that we should be celebrating. Christmas isn't about Jesus who was born. Christmas was about the message that he had, that we are also the lights, that we are one with source and God. That was the whole message, that we are the light of the world. We are also the good shepherd. We are all one of that. The Bible was totally torn apart in 535 AD, and that's not all the words that he had said. He actually came down here to show us who he was, not who we were. And all he wanted to show everybody also is think about Christmas. Think about what it was. And Easter, right? He was born, and then he was crucified, and he was resurrected. Why did we need to see that? Because he needed us to know there is no death, that they can torment you, they can torture you, they can kill you, they can murder you, and you don't die. Your body just goes away, and he came back, and he just was able to talk with all his disciples. Other people saw him. He's trying to prove a message. That's for us to know now, right? That was all a message for us, and this is the time period to remember that. So you can actually bring your child, your loved one, back alive again by celebrating with them, celebrating with them. And when I'm talking about celebrating with them, all right, there are some people that I know that still set place settings for them at the dinner table. That's great. I think that's wonderful. But talk to them. Talk to them like they're standing right there, not as if they're not there, but as if they are there, right? Recall, go through the memories of some Christmases and holidays that you had that were fun. Don't talk about the dysfunctional Thanksgiving days, you know, where the family got together and there was a whole bunch of arguments and stuff like that. No, talk about the good times that you had when they were younger or whatever age they were. I know you've had joys, right? And so you talk about them. You talk about those fun times. You talk as if, and the fun times you're having now, because they are still processing and still continuing. They're having times as well. Share, hey, let me know, what are you doing on the other side there? There are so many books and there's so many stories about how people have communicated, right, with their close ones, whether it be a brother, whether it be a child, and they give them all this information and they write a book about it and they continue the story, right? You're thinking everything stopped maybe and everything ended where it was just a transition to another state. And it's like, if your child moved to Africa or California and you're 3,000 miles away, you'd still be communicating. You wouldn't see them maybe that often, but you'd still be communicating with them, and you know that the life is still continuing, and you'd be asking, hey, what's going on? You know, what have you been doing? Really? You're doing all of that. Wow. All right. So the connection may not sound as clear, but let me tell you something. The more you open up, the more you talk, the more you open up that channel, the more you feel joy, the clearer the connection becomes. The clearer, the more they wind up talking with you, the more they wind up expressing their feelings and also guidance. Man, can we get some guidance from them now? And they give a ton of guidance, especially around this time period. So raise your vibrational energy to match the world's vibrational energy at this time, and you'll be directly level with their vibrational energy. And when that happens, what happens when energy matches energy? What happens within the brain when the different systems are all stimulated at the same time? There is a connection that goes on. It's a natural connection. It's a scientific connection that goes on. So raise your vibrational energy, even if they are sad about anything or, you know, worried about you or anything like that, because of where they are, their vibrational energy doesn't lower. Okay. Ours lowered because we still have this physical body to deal with, and it tends to, you know, suppress a lot of our energy, suppress a lot of emotions, suppress a lot because those are defense mechanisms as well. So we have to make certain that we do what we can to raise the energy. So you've got two wonderful, and whatever, like I said, whatever holidays you have. My wife was Jewish. I was Roman Catholic. We're all spiritual now. We celebrate everything. We celebrate everything. Man, that could also have its side effect, usually around the waist area, if you keep celebrating everything, because everything you celebrate has food in it. Right? And it's like, oh my goodness. So you got to be careful about that one. But we celebrate everything because it feels good. It feels wonderful. No, I have not. I have not lost a child. I've lost many loved ones. My parent, I'm 68 years old. I'm about one of the only ones alive in my family now, other than some cousins, right? But thank God I'm Italian. We have 100 cousins. I haven't spoken to many of them, but at least they're there. I know we got some Italians in here. They're all laughing. And I know what you're talking about. Yeah, thumbs up, right? But I want to feel the joy. I want to feel their energy. I want to feel their love. I want them to feel mine. I want them to know that I'm still thinking about them, that I'm still loving them. And whatever their imperfections were that when they were here, they don't have those imperfections anymore, which is even more reason why you want to make those connections, right? And I know you come here to Helping Parents Heal. You got some wonderful mediums out there that make those connections for you, but you need to make them yourselves. And you can. Everybody can make those connections. And you can call upon them anytime you want. Raise that vibrational energy to match theirs, the realm that they're in. That's what's so important to understand. Those are the heavenly dimensions. This is the earthly dimension, which happens to be the lowest of all the dimensions, right? We're down in the earthly plane, and then it only gets better from here. And it goes up, or however you want to view it, out into the cosmos, into different realms, right? It just keeps expanding, expanding, expanding. And they're part of that expansion now, right? And so if we stay down here, this is another way I want you to look at it. If you're down around the holiday times, right, they have to come down to meet your energy level to make that connection. So instead, let's meet them, right? That would be so much better to meet them. Hey, mom. Hey, dad. Hey, sis. How cool it is that you're here with me now. I'm just thinking about Christmas and that, oh, geez, he's talking about the Lionel train set, and he wants to know, where is it now? Somebody gave it away or doesn't have it anymore. So I don't know if any of you out there had trains for your, and it's a male. So he's his son there. And if any of you had a train set that you gave away, you probably need to go out and get another train set, because he wants to see that going around. He wants to see that up and around some houses too. So a lot of fun with that. So decorate. They love the decorations. Don't just, it's so funny. As you get older, it's just my neighbor and I were just finishing. I just finished all my decorations. Now, when I was young, I got my inside of my house and my outside of my house done in 2 days. Now I started at the 1st of November and I'm finally finished. Not that there's more decorations than I ever had, but I'm 68 years old and I get friggin' tired, okay? And so up and down the stairs, take everything out. So I do a little at a time, but I'm not gonna stop decorating, because I need to raise the energy, not just of my family and self, but of this world. Because I know when I'm feeding into the positive energy pool, it's also healing everybody else. That's the other reason why they want you to celebrate and raise the energy. Yes, I know grief is natural and it's normal, and especially at different times, but grief is so painful. It hurts. Celebrating is the healing of that. Celebrating takes your mind to a different place. So instead of thinking about the times that they're not here, you're thinking about the times that they are here. And then guess what? Then they appear again to you. Then they come in your dreams. Then you have these thoughts, or a song plays. They can manipulate that. And all of a sudden, one of their favorite Christmas songs comes on, or another song comes on and lets you know, oh, wait, Johnny, is that you? Holy cow. Oh, I was just thinking about you. It must be you. Acknowledge, talk, have a conversation while you're decorating the tree or you're putting up Hanukkah candles in your menorah. Talk to them saying, hey, remember when we did this? I used to make you, my father used to take away all my little toys and cars so that he could put them around the Christmas tree and make a village. But when they were on the Christmas tree and village, I couldn't touch them. So my cards were gone. And it's like, but I remember that now, and Dad comes in and he's laughing with me, right? Because now I have grandchildren and I'll let them take the cards and the toys and play with them. It's very funny, but it gives a reason for them to be able to connect with us. It gives a catalyst. Think of that as the term, catalyst. You celebrating gives them a catalyst to be able to use even more for communication with you. Remember, they have to get through barriers too in order to get to us. And most of those barriers are the energy fields we wind up putting up ourselves, all around us and all around each other, right? Like I said, anything negative, man, that channel closes down. Anything positive, it opens again. So think about it that way, that you're going to open up a communication. You're going to open up a line. You're going to get, I don't know, they are working on an app right now. They're working on an iPhone. I'm sure Apple is going to come out with it first. It's going to be iPhone 25. I don't know. And you'll be able to actually contact the other side. That's what they're working on. And they're working, and I know Suzanne Giesman was one of the mediums that was working with them on that, with Gary Schwartz, Dr. Gary Schwartz, and talking with some scientists that are deceased trying to figure this out. I mean, if they can come in and they can bring objects in, right, and you can do that kind of mediumship, they figured you can energetically, if they can manipulate the lights, if they can turn on radios and turn them off, or turn your TV on and off, right, then they have to be able to use the phone in some way, and that's what they're doing, and they're getting voices coming in on it now. Now, for some people, I'd send them an iPhone on the other side. Others, I don't want my mother-in-law to have an iPhone. That's all I need again. And she's going to be calling my wife up and complaining about me. I don't want that. So we'll have to be a little bit discretion there as to who gets that phone and who doesn't get that phone on that side.
Well, but we have some questions here.
Absolutely. You can feed me any question.
We have a Zoom user who's saying, my dad had a Lionel chain set and he used to play with it with me at my grandparents' house when I was a child. I don't have the train set, but it is a treasured memory and a reminder to be present and enjoy the day with my family and friends. Thank you.
So that is fabulous. I love that. Absolutely. And well, he's thrilled on the other side here. So just keep that memory going, because that's what lets him. That's why I said he came to me to give me that, to give to you, so that you can get that vibration up. So I'm glad that you shared that. Thank you. What other questions we had?
Question. Sharon is saying, how long does it typically take after transitioning to be able to regularly connect with our loved ones?
Well, this is now, obviously, I'm one medium. You might get this from other mediums that agree with me. You might get some other different theory. But there is an understanding that once we leave the physical body, it does take us a little while to acclimate to our new energy state. And so we hover around the earthly dimensions for a while. According to Jesus, he did 40 days, right? Maybe that was a message for us. A lot of mourning periods, right? We think it's just for the living, but in actuality, it's because the deceased, the newly deceased, are still here and they're acclimating. And so it usually, during that time period, people will see short spurts of visits more frequently, and then all of a sudden, it's actually the reverse. You can actually have a visit fairly recent, depending upon how quick they acclimate, right? How good or bad they feel when they get to the other side. They could be, if it was something that they made a choice and it wasn't a good choice or a high choice, and they're on the other side, they go, oh boy, I can't believe I did that, because they get to see the whole picture once you're on the other side, okay? And so they got all these loved ones and beings around them, the angels going, it's okay, you're going to do fine. And so sometimes they watch because they want to protect us. They don't necessarily want that energy to remind you that quickly, because otherwise you're already grieving, you're already feeling bad. They feel if you feel them too much, that you're going to feel worse, okay? So what you do is, in any time that there's been a short-term loss, you can just keep talking to them and let them know it's okay. You know, you can come visit me anytime. I'm fine. It's okay. But just understand that they are trying to let you know that they are still here. And then after, it could be a week, it could be a couple of weeks, it could be a couple of months before they fully transition to the heavenly dimensions, then you don't see them as often. That's usually what people will experience. They see them more in the beginning and then less later on. And that has to do with now they're going and they're doing their business, and they'll keep coming back, because our business continues here to there, right? So you have to understand that. We're still growing, we're still evolving, we're deciding whether we want to come back or not. We're deciding who we're going to help while we're here, who's still here. So it could be any length of time, but usually in the beginning, it's a couple of weeks or so that we're still hovering around the earthly plane. So, and you might want to talk to somebody if you haven't had a connection as to what you might want to open up and be able to be helped with in order to make a connection. Because everybody is psychic and everybody is a medium, but it does take some learning to be able to develop that ability more so, especially when you're grieving.
Well, we have another Lionel train user. Gretchen is saying, both my sons, including the one in spirit, shared Lionel train sets, but my son passed at age 38 in January 2023. The Lionel train set was played with before age 8, so I am questioning whether that could be him. I got rid of the train set eons ago.
Eons ago. Okay. I'm curious as to why, Gretchen, you got rid of that train set. Does it bring back too many memories to you that you don't like? That's a reminder that he's not there, because they always want you to have reminders that they are still there, right? That's why they want the pictures. That's why they want, and it's not like you have to set up an altar for them. There are some that wind up doing that, but they go there and they're still grieving over it, rather than putting out happy pictures of the happy, playful times and the wonderful memories that you do have, right? It's like, so when you put up the Christmas tree, get that train up.
She lost it in Hurricane Katrina, so I don't think.
Oh, goodness. Okay, you lost. Well, you can't help that. But if you want to go get a cheap set and tell your son, hey, I got you a new Christmas present, and we're going to play with it, okay? And so come on down and enjoy me when you're playing with it, right? So you would probably, if you saw him physically here, would probably go out and get him one of those gifts, right? I know we lost your train set when you were younger. You probably would love it now. And so here, I'm going to get you one. Go ahead. Doesn't have to be a very expensive one, but go and get it and bring him back alive again.
Oh, that's beautiful. So Melissa is saying, also, my sons have a Lionel train set. I haven't put it out, but I will this year.
Absolutely. I'm telling you, any of you here that have a train set, put that train set out. I mean, I've got instructions to my kids when I get to the other side. You better be putting my village out. You better be decorating your house a lot. Otherwise, I'm going to make the Christmas tree flicker all over the place until you do. I want you to keep celebrating. I want you to keep remembering the good time. We get so lazy now, right? Like I was saying, that I've gotten older, and yes, it takes more energy on stuff, but really, we're going to downplay joy. We're going to downplay happiness. We're going to downplay those memories. This is what life is all about. The memories don't end. That's what keeps everybody and everything alive and the energy level up, are the memories, good, bad, and even the bad ones. Keeps everything alive, right? So keep it going there. What other questions are there?
So Sherry is saying, will you share your experience with babies that did not make it to full term, that transitioned in miscarriage? Have you found that they continue to grow in the heavenly realm? Thank you.
Okay. All right. You got to understand the process of pregnancy and babies. Okay. Couple of things go on. Prior to a soul deciding to incarnate on Earth, they decide, we make our plans. We make our plans as to who our family is going to be. We make our plans as to who we're supposed to marry, how many children we're going to have. Hey, when I go down there, I'm going to have 3 kids. So I need a male. Who wants to be the male that's going to go down with me? Okay, you're going to go down as my son. Okay, that's great. And what about my daughter? Who's going to go down as my? Oh, I love that. We had a great past life together. Yes, come down as my daughter. I was your mother. You were my mother in a past life, but you're going to be my daughter in this life. So you got to listen to me. I'm not going to listen to you. We make all of these plans. You've got to understand that. And souls migrate from lifetime to lifetime together. Okay. So when a woman becomes pregnant and the baby comes to term, then chances are that was a planned pregnancy and a planned soul coming in, okay? But a lot of times, and especially we've forgotten our plans, and we're down here, and quite honestly, right, sexuality and having children are for different reasons a lot of times now. Therefore, women who are bored with life, or they don't have any other dream to go out, and so they figure if they have babies, they'll be taking care of them. I work with parents and I work with these women all the time, thousands of women all over the world. And so there's all different reasons why, consciously and unconsciously, women have babies. A bad marriage, they think that the baby is going to keep together. So a lot of times then the plan gets diverted, okay? And so now a woman becomes pregnant. Well, if your soul and the souls on the other side that you've been working with before you got here think that that's a bad idea, no, she's going to lose the baby. It's okay. Nobody has to go down. The souls are not in the bodies or with the bodies. You got to understand that until after the baby is born, then the soul comes with the baby. But it's not in the womb. It's not what purpose? How would the soul grow having to be in a womb waiting there? Okay, wait, oh, dang, we're at term, but mom's not giving me out yet. Okay, great. So I got to stay here, what, another couple of weeks? Oh, gee. The souls don't dummy down just because they're coming into a baby's body. Your soul is always at its level of intelligence and intellect as you kept gaining from lifetime to lifetime. Now your common conscious human mind has to develop. And it's like I said, you're not in direct communication with your soul's mind all the time. So you don't know how smart you really are. Okay, but the soul is there with all its information. So when a woman miscarries, I can tell you right now that yes, the soul can either stay around because maybe they want to guide, because they're asked, okay, so she's not having the baby, so you don't have to stay there. So what do you want to do? Do you want to go incarnate someplace else? You want to hang around? You are going to have some brothers and sisters. So what do you want to do? Well, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to be a guardian angel over my brothers and sisters. So there's nothing about the soul does not get a chance to evolve just because a woman either aborts a child or loses the child in miscarriage. We as humans place our human values on everything, not necessarily our spiritual values on everything. And so you have to understand that. The soul will always have a chance to grow, whether it incarnates in here or not. I will tell you that when I'm doing events, I can see, because I have them come to me, miscarried or aborted spirits, only because they want to just communicate to the mother to let them know, you didn't do anything to me. You're okay. Get rid of the guilt. You're fine. Everything is okay. And I'm okay. But I've been just watching over my brothers and sisters now. Okay. And so that's why that's why they're talking to their imaginary friend. It's me they're talking with. So that's the reason why they will come to me, but they're never in an adverse condition or non-evolved. They're always growing. We're always growing. We're just slowing the process down here in human form, just so that you know.
Dory is saying that it's very difficult to have high energy when our losses were just 8 weeks ago.
Yeah.
She's feeling very sensitive to the speed of this conversation. It's going so fast for her understanding and grieving. So maybe you could talk a little bit about people who are a little bit
well, grieving. I used to be a grief counselor because of hospice as well. So yes, that's don't worry about catching up to anything, because here's the problem with grief and experiencing loss like this. It's everything stops in your world, and you want everything to stop. You don't want to think about anything. You don't want anybody else to be thinking about anything. You don't want people coming to you and telling you you're going to be okay. You don't want people coming to you and always trying to make you feel good, because you deserve the feeling of feeling bad. It's okay to feel bad, to feel sad, to feel angry, to feel resentful. All of that you're allowed to feel, and you have to allow yourself to feel it. So you're in a heavy grief process right now Don't worry about thinking about having to celebrate. You want the world to stop right now. Let the world stop right now. What I would say is you will get your moments where the grief dies down a bit so that you can function. During the functioning time, pull the good memories to the surface as soon as you can. Pull the good memories to the surface. And so what you'll be doing is you're feeding at least some of your positive energy and positive memories. I know that can be very healing. When I was a hospice social worker and I worked with any of the patients afterwards, we would talk about, they were constantly talking about, oh my gosh, when he got a pizza, he devoured, everybody couldn't get a slice of pizza because he loved pizza so much. That's your uncle, right? And people were talking about fun stories and funny stories about the person who is gone now. You want to find the positive moments and the positive memories, but take it slow. And I understand that this isn't going to sink in until later. But believe me, it got in there. You heard it. You just heard it on a different level. You don't have to worry about processing it yet because you're processing your grief. And that's the normal piece. But like I said, when the wave dies down a little bit, try to throw in some of those positive memories. And that again will raise the vibration, give them an opportunity to come to you. But it's very new. It's very vulnerable and bare right now out there in the world. And let everything stop around you. It's okay. You don't have to do anything except feel your feelings. And
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
So I also just wanted to ask you, we have about 2 minutes left. Could you leave us with some inspiration for the holidays for, again, moving through them? I know that the most important thing is to raise our own vibration to be able to connect with their vibration. Any other closing thoughts on that?
Love. Focus on love. Focus on the love that you have in your life now, the love that you had for this loved one who is gone, right? Just the love is going to get us through anything negative, anything that's traumatic or crises. Love does that. Recall the love, recall the feeling in your heart. It's all about feeling because that's actually what raises vibration, right? That you can do it thoughtfully, but you want to do it physically. And you do it physically by remembering love, holding on to something that person loved and sharing and going, I'm feeling it and feeling that. Let that energy that's on that item, a teddy bear, a favorite book, a picture, right? And let the love well up in your heart. And that is actually a protective mechanism. It's a cushion. It gets you through hard times. You want to always remember the love that you've had and don't be afraid of it. A lot of people are afraid to allow themselves to feel the love because then they think they're exacerbating the grief again and they're causing the grief to come back. No, that's okay. You just got to keep feeding yourself those positive memories in order to initiate and incite the love in your heart. The more you feel it in your heart, the stronger you become, the stronger the connection you actually make, the more vibration you send over there, which is beautiful, that they receive and it draws them to you. But just that's what the holiday season is about anyway. It's what we're supposed to be getting together for Thanksgiving is to share love. We share it in our food that we make for each other and share that. And then the holidays and the celebration, the gifts we either give or just getting together as family again during the meaning of the season. It's all about love and sharing it. And that's what the earth needs right now. This is what everybody needs right now. So if you can remember that, do everything you can to expand your love. That'll get you through this holiday season and it'll get you through it stronger and more powerful on the other side of January 1st. 2024, feeling loved and being reconnected with your loved one.
Thank you. Gretchen is saying, oh my gosh, this has been so very helpful. So grateful that HPH set up this event. and so grateful for the inspiration. My first holidays, so this is hugely helpful for me and my family. Namaste. Charmaine is saying, thank you, Vincent. This was helpful and beautiful. Jane is saying, thank you so much. Phyllis is saying, thank you so much. This was awesome. And I want to just also say that I truly believe as well that this journey is all about love. And I think that having a tragedy such as what we have experienced as shining light parents happen in your life really just proves it on a much greater scale that this journey is all about love, and we're just here to help each other. That's the only reason that we're here. And that's the only reason, and that's the only thing that's going to count once we get over with our kids. And we sure do want them to be proud of us once we get over there. So reaching back a hand and helping someone forward is the thing that can help all of us to heal the most. There's nothing that can heal us better. So thank you for the wonderful inspiration, Vincent. And I see again that you're so appreciated. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Lots of people saying it in the chat box. We always ask everyone to unmute and to say thank you and good evening. So
Thanks, Vincent. This was a great night.
Oh. Thank you, Vincent.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all so much.
Thank
God bless
you.
all.
Thank you.
God bless.
Very
Bye,
much.
everybody.
Thank you.
Happy
Bye.
Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
holidays.
Thank you. Giving.
We'll have another.
Bye-bye. See you tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yes. So don't forget Britta. She's going to be
6
fabulous.
p.m. Eastern time. Yes.
So we'll see you soon. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.